Welcome back to NPC Offline's Home of Play podcast, where we bring you our take of the latest PlayStation rumors, news, reviews, and that is because we are PlayStation fans. Today and every Monday, I'm joined by the king of platinum trophies himself, Christopher.
Hello, hello.
We also have the 60 frames of Curtis.
Oh, hi.
On today's show, we'll be talking about PlayStation 5 backwards compatibility. There's a little update there. We also got some news on Final Fantasy VII Remake with Red 13. And we're also going to talk about a bunch of other things, including Europe's PlayStation slowing down their servers to help the internets. Just before we get started, if you enjoy this and would like to help support and grow our brand, we would appreciate any positive reviews you could leave on your podcast service of choice. As well, if you could check out our YouTube channel, just search NPC Offline. We'll be the first thing that pops up. We could use the subscription, thumbs up, and then if you could leave any suggestions or comments or questions on the videos, it just help us figure out what you guys would like to see next.
Please and thank you.
Okay, but enough of that. Let's start with what we have been playing for the last week, guys. And I will start with Chris. What have you been playing?
I just picked up Yakuza 0 on PlayStation. It was on sale this weekend, so just jumped into that one. It's pretty much, I did the Yakuza Kiwami back in October.
Okay, I'm actually interested in this. You played Kiwami, and I got that as a PlayStation Plus free game, I believe.
Yes, that's what I got too.
And I've never played a Yakuza game before, so I tried Kiwami. If I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry. But I tried it. I tried it, I think 3 weeks ago, and I loathed my entire first 2 hours with it. So I'm interested, because you played both, how does that feel? Like, are they this similar games, or do you think Kiwami, because as I understand it, it is a remake of the original one, and 0 is one of the newer ones. So do they play different? Please tell me their quest structure is a lot better, because the biggest problem I had with Kiwami was the quests were unbearable.
They're very similar. They're using so I think what they did is they created 0, and they're using the exact same engine, and they remade the first and second game with that same engine. So it's very similar. The difference is probably the combat's a little bit different, but not too much different yet that I'm noticing anyway. The side quests are all very similar. The map's almost identical from the Kiwami 1 to 0. But they did add a second map, and you play as a different character as well. It's good. I'm enjoying it. I'm not kind of a guy that's interested in like mafia, mob types of things.
I usually am not, but for some reason, my fascination with Japan springs to everything. So when it's Yakuza, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm kind of interested. But yeah, I'm not the guy that's going to watch, I didn't watch The Godfather, blasphemy. And I have not watched, what's that new one with Robert De Niro that's apparently unbearably
The Irishman.
Yes, like 8 hours long.
It was very long.
Oh my gosh, it was so long.
But yeah, I've been enjoying it so far. It, like I said, is very similar to the other ones. I think I can't remember the order. I did look it up, but I think the Kiwami came out, and then 0 came out, and that was a prequel to the series.
I think.
And
so,
then
yeah.
they shortly after that they redid the Yakuza second one, which is Kiwami 2, I think is now.
Yep.
So I'm hoping that one will show up for free at some point on PlayStation Plus. But
like going back to the structure of the quest, so my exact reference in Kiwami, the original, remake of the original, whatever you want to call it. So one of the pet peeves was in the flashback where before you go to jail for 10 years, you got to get this girl a ring. And it was ridiculous to the point of like, you have to get the ring, a guy steals the ring, you got to find the guy 3 times. Then you got to realize he goes to a pawn shop. Then you have to go to the pawn shop in and out 3 times. And then that literally almost made me stop playing. I got a little further. Then all of a sudden there's a little Shiba dog.
yeah,
Obviously I'm going to play it because I have a Shiba Inu. So got to support the sheeps anywhere I can.
you got to go buy dog food for the dog, and then you got to go buy.
I think it's water first.
Oh, I can't remember the order, but
either way,
water, and then it's like, oh well, you have to have a paper plate to put that water in, and
that's
then you're
what
going back
and it
and forth.
wasn't even the same store. You like when it went to the, I think the food the next time, it's like, oh, that convenience store, not that convenient. You have to go to the next one. It's a little more convenient apparently, and then it will have that, and that was my entire problem. I'm like, this is bad questing, and I don't want no part of
I
this.
think they were more or less just trying to get you to explore the town.
Yeah.
And just see the different things at the different shops. Because the map isn't massive by any means.
Yeah. But it could just be better, like Persona 5.
Yeah.
And I get it was a remake, so I want to give it that leeway because it's like, okay, maybe this is just because this was the first one. They don't want to change it because if they change it, they also get that blowback from fans, right? That's why I was asking you if Zero felt different that way.
Zero, no. It feels very similar. I never played the original Yakuza one. I have a buddy that did try it, and he says the combat system's quite a bit different from the original, as well as I think they added a few more of the mini games. There's like a mini game card game that's in the remake Kiwami one. I haven't come across that yet in Zero, but they're, like I said, they're pretty much exactly the same.
Okay.
So with that same engine.
And is that everything you've been playing this week?
That's pretty much all I've been doing. Random stuff.
Nice. And Curtis, have you been playing anything? And I know you have.
The only thing I've been playing so far is just a little game called Doom Eternal.
How much time have you gotten with it?
Not very much, to be honest. I've just been busy with other things, but I think I'm about 5 out of the 13 levels or so in.
Okay, so you're almost halfway point. So you have probably a pretty good idea of if you like it or not.
Oh, I definitely do. I definitely like it. I'm gonna be honest though, at this point, I think I prefer the 2016 game a little bit more.
Okay, I'm interested to understand why, just because the newer one has the better Metacritic. So I'm interested why. Is it the level?
No, it's me. And I knew going into the game, like even when any other review or preview that the developers had mentioned, they had specifically said this game has strategy. You have to be smart in how you play. You have to adapt your gameplay because you're going to get killed otherwise. You can't just run in and use one gun. You can't do that because you're just not going to have fun. So that's kind of my problem. And I'm thinking it's just because I haven't had a lot of time with the game yet, because I keep wanting to use certain weapons. I haven't really updated my ammo, so I'm running out a lot. I keep forgetting about the chainsaw to give myself more ammo. So I'm just thinking it's the fact I haven't played very much, but it's definitely fun. Like I do thoroughly enjoy having that dash because it just gives you so much more movement, and it's just getting around the monsters, just being able to get away and then, do a bunch of things.
Do you enjoy the levels more in this one?
Oh, they are so much nicer. Like the graphics, the art style is so Doom. It's
Well, you gave me a short HDR preview, so I could definitely tell the difference. That game, oddly colorful for something that's supposed to be dark and literally called Doom. Most of us, I theoretically would think doom and gloom, and I'm there's nothing gloom about that. It's a pretty popish, like
it's an arcade shooter.
It's
like,
not.
That's the way they're trying to make it look.
That's why it made me smile too when you said Doom requires thinking. I'm like,
you'd be surprised.
Well, the first one didn't seem like it as much. It definitely felt more like quick response.
Oh yeah,
and this is just me hearing other people talk about it. I haven't played it, but yeah, like my play style, I would say that deters me from ever trying it because I also don't like it when you explain it the way you do. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to have to use this gun or like change my gameplay because of this enemy's entering. And it feels like it limits me to have to play the game the way they want me to play it for that scenario. Maybe it's not that extreme. Like maybe you can get by. It's just going to be a little harder.
Yeah, you definitely can. It's just certain weapons are more effective against certain enemies. You don't have to. It's just you're probably going to have a harder time because you're trying to land shotgun shells on something that's moving fast, whereas you're trying to just use rockets on something. Yeah, that'll kill a lot faster. But
So is there collectibles? And I thought you said is there side missions or sub objectives in the mission or something?
There are challenges, and they had them in the 2016 game as well. It's just kill certain enemies with different kinds of glory kills, or make sure you find all of the secrets. Just little things like that, and they'll give you in-game or not in-game rewards, but basically just things to unlock abilities, the currency for that. And they do have things to find as well. They have little dolls that they brought back so you can if you're looking for all the secrets, you'll find all the little toys that the Doomslayer likes to collect.
I did see a video on YouTube. I won't talk about it because it's technically a spoiler, but it's funny because it has to do with the dolls.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anything else you've been playing? Or is that just all the time you had this week?
No, that's pretty much it.
I mean, it makes sense. You've been waiting along, 4 years for this one? So
yeah, and they delayed it from last November already, so tack on another 3 months from that.
Well, they had to delay it to make sure it worked for Stadia. Oh, wait, it doesn't give you 4K for Stadia still. I'm like, good thing you guys took that delay.
It's a good thing I didn't try it on that.
No one did. I don't even know if it released day and day with the normal launch, but I think they might have postponed it again.
I thought they were trying to, because that was the whole purpose of demoing it.
No, for sure it was, but they are also, when they first talked about it, they're like, oh yeah, 4K, 60 frames for everything. Like, definitely Stadia, we can do it. We got the tech. We made this. I thought they were bragging they made this like side engine to make sure it would do real 4K. And then it's like, I don't know, like just a few weeks ago, they're like, yeah, sorry, we can't. We can't. Like we try. And then like, I believe in them because frick, they made that game run at 60 frames, even on a normal PS4. So if anyone could do it, you'd think it'd be them. But you know, here we are, and Stadia hates everything.
I still love that video. I can't remember who he was, but he was showing gameplay of, I think it was Tomb Raider. And he was showing the reaction time, and you'd hit the space bar, and then you'd wait 3 seconds, and then the character would jump. It was like, okay, that's unplayable.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, especially when you're dealing with a game, you have to aim very, and you want headshots most of the time. Conserve arrows, something like that.
But they were even pushing stuff like Destiny, like that was a pre-purchase game for Stadia. And they were giving Destiny to everyone that basically ordered that.
Yep.
So, yeah, perfect example. You're trying to line up a headshot. Good luck with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's Stadia. I mean, we could probably go on its own podcast just crapping on that chimney. But for myself, I've had a really rough week. I am the king of AAA games, and I don't really play much else. So nothing's been coming out. So it's been really hard for me. I literally just go back and forth between Steam, the PlayStation Store, and the only thing I want to play right now is Persona. But why would I play it if Royal comes out in under a week? So I think I'm just going to wait, play that. And so basically all I did was play a little bit of Final Fantasy VIII Remastered, and that was it. And even then, I only really got an hour before I had to do some other stuff. So
and that's Persona 5 Royal, right?
yeah, coming out. I think it's the 31st. So I know the collector's edition's coming my way, so I can't wait for that. I'm gonna have to look at some guidelines and see what I can or cannot talk about or show anyway in the future for our content. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to figure that part out because I know it was a huge fun time with the original, but I do think they must have loosened up. I could see some stuff with the new semester not wanting to show too much, but whatever. I'll look into it. And then, yeah, my week of playing was not great. So, okay, enough of what we've been playing. Now let's just dive right into the news that dropped this past week. Today we have 7 articles to discuss, starting with number 1. Backwards compatibility update from Sony themselves. From the article from Destructoid, I have a quote from Sony. We believe the overwhelming majority of the 4,000 PS4 titles will be playable on PS5. As expected, there's no mention of any generation before PS4. Yeah, they're not going to say it. If they are going to say it, they're saving it for closer to E3, so whatever. But it's slightly good news, but I still don't like the terminology they're using for the backwards compatibility. I don't know. With Xbox coming out, like we talked about last week, they're talking about going back to the original Xbox, and we're talking about maybe having all the games. But like, what does that mean? We could have games that mean a lot to me, like Bloodborne, not being playable, just kind of like the name change. I remember Bloodborne was one of those affected, and that's a pretty popular game.
Well, and they're also saying 4,000 plus titles. That's quite a few titles. So I'm thinking that must be like almost everything you could possibly get off the PlayStation Network. Like I'm thinking the remasters of games, like PS2 games you can get on the PSN store. I'm assuming that must be including
Honestly,
those.
if you look at the drop of games every week, there's a lot of crap, right? There's a lot of cheap $5 easy platinum things, I honestly think they're referring to that, because if you go in the store, they have a stupid amount of games because they're not, and they should be, but they're not really filtering any of them. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll just let all, it's becoming more like the mobile platform, which is horrendous. And that's where I think they're like, oh yeah, we'll have 4,000 working titles, while what are 3,500 of them going to be these shitty games that nobody really cares about just so they can say a big number? Where, are we going to get certain games that we really like that are early on the PS4 life cycle, and then we can't get them? Like I said, bringing up Bloodborne again.
Well, what I'm wondering is, when they're talking backwards compatibility, are they talking through PlayStation Now, or are they actually saying it's going to run off the console? Because I know that going from PS2 to PS3, they had that whole cell architecture. It made everything hard. That's why there was one generation of the console that could do backwards compatibility.
There's two. The first PS3 had an actual disk drive that could read, and then the next generation of it. I shouldn't say generation, makes you think PS3, PS4, but the next
iteration, model,
or SKU or model. Yeah, model is a better term.
There was the 40 gig hard drive one and the 60 gig.
And that one had I think the next one, 60 gig was the original, right? And then it was
60
80?
gig, I think, was the original, which is the one I got.
Yeah.
It's a massive beast.
And then the 80, I think, was the next one, and I could be wrong, don't quote me, but that one had an emulator, so you could still technically play your PS2 games, but then after that, I think they shut it down.
Yeah, the last model with like that sliding top for the disc cartridge, I don't think can do anything.
Yeah.
So I'm curious too, if the backward compatibility means I'm going to be able to take a PlayStation 4 disc and put it in the PlayStation 5,
and
then to see if it actually loads up, right?
That's kind of what I'm curious about too, because you're talking, with the fact that Xbox can go back to the original. I want to say that a lot of their games, you're going from a new generation to an old generation, but I don't think that the way they made their games for the console was such a huge change going from like PS3 to PS4. The fact you couldn't play anything.
And hey, at least 4,000 is more than 100 of the top 100.
Yeah, they did change it.
They were saying originally, right? So
yeah, 100%.
I think the article also goes on and says something about where they're actually having to manually go in each of these games and change something in the background to make it work with the new system.
Well, so
obviously that'll be time consuming.
When they had that press conference, he made, and I could be wrong, but I'm pretty confident he made a reference to something about this new console being so fast, that's why these wouldn't play. That doesn't make sense to me, because I'm
sounds like emulator.
Yeah. So that's my concern. Just because, if with a PC, if I update my PC to an SSD, it never tells me, sorry, man, this hard drive is too fast for me. So it didn't really make sense, but maybe if it's emulation, it has something to do with that.
If that's the case, then maybe it actually is running off the console and it shouldn't be a streaming service then.
Yeah. And also going back to your disc thing, I know, so Xbox One wasn't initially backwards compatible, but they
added them later.
They added them later, but they did it all digitally. So what they did was your console almost became like Monster Rancher. So it would read your disc and be like, oh, you proved to me you own this, so I'll let you digitally download it.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if they didn't say that, but I'm wondering if that's the future.
But it's still running off the console, though.
Yes.
That'd be neat.
That would be,
I'd be okay
preferred, because I think that's how they're going to do the upgrades too. Like, PlayStation, again, not great marketing on this, but Xbox having CD Projekt Red come out right away and say, if you get the Xbox One version, we'll free update you to the Xbox Series X version. Nothing you have to do, you just get it because it's on your account. I feel like it's going to be the same. Put in your PS4 disc, and your PS5 will just be like, okay, let's get you that 4K version or whatever.
It would be nice if you could go out and buy a physical copy of the game, and when you put it in that system, it automatically just unlocks the digital version of the game too, instead of having to rebuy it sometimes.
It would be preferred, but it's that money thing where do I trust that they're going to let go and be like, because I think they kind of like screwing you like that. If you're going to buy physical, they're like, no, because you can trade that, so this is your punishment. Yeah. But if you buy digital, you can't trade, so now we give you stuff. Yeah. It's the same reason the PlayStation Store, we'll give you free themes if you purchase it here. And I'm like, what did I just get? The Final Fantasy VII Remake wallpaper that, oh, it's a dynamic theme and nothing moves. There's like a little bit of smoke and
One
like,
little sparkle.
and even like the music isn't the iconic music. It really bothered me. I was just like, damn it, why do I like? I was pre-ordering it no matter what. It wasn't just because of the theme, but still,
you get the bonus summons.
I don't. You have to get the deluxe version.
I have the deluxe.
Me too.
I just had a gift card from a past birthday that I put together with Christmas gift cards, so it's free. And I'm like, I didn't have enough for the deluxe, and I don't know.
What was the bonus summon again? Is it
Chocobo,
Carbuncle and Chocobo, I think, right?
and Mini
Nice.
Mog, isn't it? I thought it was a Mog riding a
Google.
Chocobo.
Let's look it up.
Was there
Let's
a
not talk
Cactar?
out our ass.
Could have been
That's what it
Cactar.
is. It's Cactar, and then the Mogul riding a Chocobo.
Yeah. I'm going to take screenshots and send it to you constantly just to bug you.
Well, I'm pretty sure we're going to be playing my version, so we'll have those summons.
Yes.
Great. Then I'll go home and cry myself to sleep because I don't have the forehead of God on my carbuncle. Have you
Chocobo.
seen the carbuncle?
Look at it right there.
That's fucking terrifying. Why is his forehead that big? Why did I become Jerry Seinfeld?
It's the clown from It.
Basically, he's just like, come here, Georgie. Pop, pop, Georgie. And I'm like, get the fuck away from me, clown.
Oh yeah, Chocobo Chick and Cactar are the bonus ones. I guess Carbuncle will be available. Oh no, I'm not sure.
I think all three are bonus.
Unless is that just the first class edition one with the carbuncle?
Look at that forehead. What the fuck am I looking at? That's not a dog. That's not a cat. That's not a fox. I don't know what the fuck that is.
They really wanted to put that crystal on its forehead.
Like, did you not understand there was limitations with the original PlayStation? That's why you looked a little fucked up, but you never looked that fucked up. That does not translate, okay? Like, fuck me. You could put Google Translator on that, and it's going to just question mark the rest of your life.
Yeah, and then Cactar and Carbuncle.
I
should
honestly
be-
don't want Carbuncle if he's going to give me that face. Unless he skull cracks everyone. Like, if that's his move, then fine. That explains why his forehead's so
it's a
fucking
secret Knights of the Round or something.
Yeah, so yeah,
Or he's one of those kids that falls asleep with the phone too close to their head and the radiation's giving him cancer. Like, you know what? Okay, other than that, I think we're done talking about PlayStation backwards compatibility. Not too much really talk about. Great that it sounds better than it originally did, but who the hell knows until we get, a real update, hopefully. I'm predicting May, but probably going to be June.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed May, though. I feel like they're going to get in front of what E3 used to be, the funeral of E3. So yeah, that's it for that. And we'll just move on to article number 2. And since we're already talking about it, we're going to do article 2 about the new information of Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is talking about Red 13's secret additional content that they wanted to add in just so he wouldn't be so useless. So from another article I stole from Destructoid, the development team feel the same way that the fans do when it comes to seeing Red 13 as an important character, and we designed his gameplay in the special way to offset him not being playable in battle, said Hamaguchi. I just don't know. But anyway,
Question mark.
Question mark. In an interview posted on Square's website, I won't reveal exactly what that entails, but I want people to enjoy it when they actually play the game. But I will say the Final Fantasy VII Remake has added a new upper floor to the Shinra building. Exciting because that never had enough floors apparently to present a climax that was not in the original.
Don't you need another floor to climb up?
You need another floor because there wasn't enough.
No, I'm not going up another floor. I'm stopping on this floor.
Oh, I just remember all those locked rooms you had to deal with and all the crap.
Get the key cards.
It's got to be Sephiroth related. What do you think?
Bro. Oh yeah, because just from the trailer they released previously, like they kind of show that Genova's on the top floor. Like it looks like he throws Genova or a piece of her, and the boss fight takes place in the president's chamber there at the very top.
Yeah.
So,
but even having the whole sword in Shinra's back, you're like, oh, who's that? I'm thinking it'll be probably an actual introduction.
Yeah.
Because at that point, oh no, you're not out of Midgar yet.
No.
Ooh.
No, but in the trailer again, they show Sephiroth leaving. Like he tosses it at them. And it would make more sense this time doing it that way versus leaving your sword in the guy's back, but then having your sword again. Like, how many Masanunes or whatever the fuck they're called do you have that you can just leave them everyone's back? I'll leave this one in Aerith, then I'll leave this in your back. And, I got 20 more of these things. They were on sale. I had a Groupon. What the fuck do you want? What the fuck do you want? So, I don't know how to feel about it. I personally don't care that much. Red 13, it's an unfortunate timing thing. This is all Midgar. And spoiler alert, he doesn't show up till like basically you're like 2 minutes out of Midgar.
At the end, yeah. It almost feels like they're putting this out. It feels like a little bit of reaching.
Yeah.
Like it's like there's like, hey, everybody, like he's there. He's going to be there for endgame content.
Yeah.
I think it read too. It said something like he can navigate areas. Like
it sounds like he has verticality.
Yeah,
and he's going to jump on ledges and blah blah.
You
blah.
could probably request him to go and disable something or go and do something.
Which it just sounds like they're covering their tracks for people that might be upset that they can't play him, just because they're like, oh, I want to play another character. Well, all you got to do is wait another 14 years and we'll have episode 2.
I just hope that it's not going to be a single-use mechanic only for this part, that they might just keep it going into the next ones.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 4 other characters, right? 4 other characters that we're not getting in this game.
Kate, Sid, Vincent, Yuffie.
I think that's it, yeah.
Is that it?
I think that's it.
Sid, Yuffie.
Yeah. Vincent, Kate, Sith.
Vincent, Kate, Sith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're still missing half the cast from the game.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to lose Aerith.
Yeah. Fucking spoilers.
I don't know. I it's not a big chunk of news. I kind of guess they do something with them. Like, why are you going to bother making a whole new character model, cutscenes, give him a voice actor, all this stuff? Probably not so much motion capture unless they're just going to tape it to a cat and just slap in the ass and see what happens.
And I don't think anybody that like heard that he's not going to be playable. I don't think anybody was like, oh, well, I'm going to cancel my pre-order because he's not playable, right? So
I think they made it pretty clear that like, get used to these 4 characters and, that's the game.
Yeah, because you get him so late, they don't want to mess up that chemistry that you've built with the other ones.
Well, and it would be, that terrible thing I always hate in games where you just spent, I don't know how long this game is. Honestly, I don't think it's as long as they're saying it is. I'm sure if you
50
do
hours.
Yeah, and I bet you that's if you do every side quest.
I'll let you know.
Yeah. So if you do every side quest, I'm sure, but this game feels like you're going to be able to beat it in under 30 hours if you mainline. But regardless, you don't want to be playing 25 hours and then they introduce a whole new mechanic to the game.
Yeah.
During the last 2 boss fights, and you're like, what the I hate it. That was my biggest problem with even I can't think of too many recently, but the latest Sucker Punch game, Infamous Second Son, I think it was. Same thing. You get, spoiler alert, you get to the end, and all of a sudden they give you this brand new power you've never used except for this last boss fight, and it made it ridiculously unfun. I almost rage quit. Well, there was a lot of glitching too, where I fell through a floor a couple times, and but it dampens your last experience of these games. So I think this is kind of smart. Just give him to me, let me see him. I guess let me get used to his voice acting. Blah blah blah.
One thing I hope for the game is that it'd be nice if they had more guest people join your party. Like Biggs, Wedge, Jesse.
They might though. Like if they're doing Red 13. Why, it's not impossible that they, isn't there a point where someone from Shinra changes sides? But that might be a later disc, but I thought you get helped out by somebody.
Yeah, what's his name? One of the Turks, right?
It's not Rufus, right? Because he's always a dick, right?
There's 3 of them, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember their names.
Oh, I can't even pronounce the guy who starts with T, like Sung or...
Sing.
Yeah.
He's the leader,
There's
right?
Rufus.
No, Rufus is the leader, isn't he?
Rufus is Shinra.
Rufus is the
there's
son
Reno,
of the
there's Rude, there's Sang.
Reno. Maybe
there's
Rude.
Elena. Because Rude's the guy with the glasses.
But I thought someone helped you in the game. I could be wrong, but I thought they finally realized they're wrong. But that could be like 3rd disc content. I don't remember.
And I can't remember. I don't think that's like a combat thing where they help you out.
They all help you because you're trying to take out Sephiroth. In the end, like they
spoilers.
Shut up. Shut the hell up.
But either way, I could see them having like additional like maybe background people, or you tell them kind of like whatever Red 13 is going to do. I could see that happening here. Okay, our next article is about Kojima finally talking about bringing a photo mode to Death Stranding. In a tweet, he writes, "Thank you for the feedback, everyone. We're happy to confirm that photo mode will be coming soon to Death Stranding on PS4. Stay tuned for more." Not a big article, nothing I think we need to really sink our teeth into, but I just wanted to talk about it because Chris was playing it and plotting it because he is, of course, the king of platinums. And I don't know, does that bring anything to the table for you, Chris?
I won't be going back to it for photo mode, but I've never been, to be honest, photo mode on PS4 has never really interested me because, like, what do? Do I take a screenshot and then upload it to Facebook?
Let's be honest here, and this is the big question. Does photo mode allow you to turn the camera so you could see Norman Reedus's penis?
I think that's the question we've all been wondering.
Photo mode in the shower is what you're talking, eh?
Well, no, when you're watching him pee, you can't turn the camera
That's
so that you
true.
can actually see him.
Wasn't there
true.
a part that if you try to stare at his junk too much, he'd punch you, the camera?
He does react to the camera a lot, but I can't say I sat there specifically trying to get shots of his
I
junk.
could have sworn. I mean, I swore I saw a video online that, yeah, if you keep doing it over and over, like he eventually either punches the camera or pushes it. I can't remember. But he gets really mad that you want to see his Norman Reedus, if you will.
It wouldn't surprise.
I could believe that just because it's a Kojima thing. Like he's going to put in that little fourth
It wouldn't
wall.
surprise me because he does interact with the camera quite a bit when you're just sitting in your bedroom.
So I don't know. I'm not a photo mode guy either. I think the only one I've ever really played with is Spider-Man's because that game it was cool trying to get, all the perfect position or the perfect, like, I don't know.
He's a photographer.
Yeah.
It almost goes with it. It makes more sense to take photos.
And I know God of War had one, but same thing. I'm not going back for it. You guys, I think with God of War, they released it quite late in my opinion. So I'm not going back for that.
No.
I think Doom Eternal is supposed to get some photo mode.
And
Can you actually leave first person mode in that?
Couldn't tell you.
Why would you put a photo mode in first person just to see your hands better?
I guess.
So I have to hope that it's not stuck on that because it'd be cool to. I don't know how photo mode would work with Doom, but if you could rewind a little bit, maybe you get that shot of him doing like the perfect headshot and explosion.
Watch that fist enter the demon's head.
No, 100%. Or like, you just showed us you ripping an eyeball out and shoving it back in his mouth. Get that in photo mode, great. But if it was locked to first person, why wouldn't you just hit print screen on the keyboard, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Not a big article, but cool that they're still working on it and trying to make it better.
It seems to be something that fans want. So it's very common in games nowadays.
If it interests them, then great, do it, whatever. But that's, I think, enough of that. Okay, so article number 4 is about the leak or potential leak of our next free PlayStation Plus games of the month of April, which apparently, if it's to be believed, we're going to get Uncharted 4 and Dirt Rally 2. I'm not personally interested in Dirt Rally. I'm not a racer, but I might check out Uncharted 4. Even though I'm the PlayStation guy, I burnt out of Uncharted's early. I never beat 3. And I've never played 4 at all.
Shame.
Yeah, I know.
I've bought 4 and it has not been played.
Double shame.
I've watched an entire playthrough of it and it's like, this looks great, and just never played it.
Curtis, it has grappling hooks.
So does Doom Eternal.
I know, but I've never seen you use them, so maybe they don't exist. If I don't see it, it doesn't exist.
It's a decent selection though for April. So
I remember people talking about 4 like it was almost a Kojima game. And it's like, get ready for 9 hours of cutscenes.
It seems kind of late for those games, in my opinion.
I don't know how to say. Like, I agree with you. It does feel a little late, but they do that kind of crap all the time. Like, I think with bigger named titles, especially like first party or, I don't know, was that technically first party?
No. First party would be like Sony.
Yeah. Well,
Like
Sony
AAA.
owns Naughty Dog, don't they?
Well, I don't know.
they do now, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So it is first party, but first party game like that, I just feel like they hold them off pretty long. Not always. Like Detroit Become Human. Well, that's not first party though.
I mean, Uncharted is basically one of the biggest names on PlayStation. So I can understand if they're going to try to delay making that a discounted PlayStation Plus item for a while.
Yeah. Well, it was already in their greatest hits thing, so it was like $20 or less. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. It's okay. Like, what are we currently on right now? I know Sonic was one. And what's the other free game, Chris? Currently, like right now.
This month?
Yeah.
Sonic. It was a bigger one. What was it?
Oh, it was Shadow of the Colossus.
Yes.
Okay, so like that one is first party as well. Or no, Blue Note's not first party. Sorry, I think they're second. Either way, Shadow of the Colossus, pretty big. Also exclusive. So yeah, I guess I would say, and that only's been out for a year.
I was going to add too, actually. Like, I don't follow the Dirt series myself, but it looks like the Dirt Rally game came out February 26, 2019. So that's not that bad. That's a year.
Oh yeah, a year
before it comes free. So that's pretty good. I think Uncharted's
that's quite
definitely
more of a
longer
surprise
than that one.
Yeah, but I mean, it was never in there. So now it is. So get the games. I think they're reportedly, if to be believed, coming out April 7th. Get them then.
Add it to your library. Why not? Right? It's free.
Except maybe not Dirt. Just even the name just says it out for me.
Wow.
Well, but it's a good arcade game to throw on.
If you're into that thing, I'm not the racer, right? I don't.
You're just not anything.
I'm AAA boy. Give me my AAA's.
What's a AAA racing game?
Forza
or Gran Turismo.
Yeah, Forza, I guess. It's Microsoft.
I think it's more popular nowadays.
Forza?
Yeah.
Oh, because they actually release games.
Forza Horizon, yeah.
Yeah, because like, what does Gran Turismo do? Come out every like 19 years?
Yeah, what do they have out now? 7? I don't even know.
I
think
don't know.
There's a couple bad ones too.
Yeah. Wasn't Sport awful?
There was one on the PS3 that was awful.
I think that was
that the
Sport.
Sport
It might have been.
Because didn't they want to charge you for like every car you would buy, like actual money?
Didn't it not come with a lot of cars right away?
I'm sure when you plugged in your controller, it charged you $5 for doing that.
You want to charge your battery on that control?
Yeah. Do you want to unlock those analog sticks? And I'm like, wait, what?
You want to know what it feels like to own a car? Every time you want to drive it, we're going to charge you money.
Yeah.
It's like gas.
Yeah. I'm like, did I just get an insurance letter in my mail? Like, do I have to pay real insurance for this car?
Anyways, add it to your library.
Add it to your library. Awesome. Okay, we're moving on again. Article number 5, we're talking about PlayStation slowing down speeds of their network in Europe during the pandemic that we are experiencing to try to hold the internet strength B. I know I've heard Netflix already doing kind of the same stuff, just in preparation of more people being at home. Obviously, there's more demand, stuff like that. So I'll go back to another article, Destructoid. As lockdowns sweep across the globe to try to fight the COVID-19 pandemic, the number of people who are online has increased dramatically. So much so that countries are concerned about the internet could break. In Europe, Netflix is reducing streaming quality for 30 days. Netflix believes that the move will lower its traffic by 25% on a global scale. Google is defaulting all streaming to standard quality, but viewers can still select a higher quality as they watch. Now Sony is joining the cause in Europe, announcing today that it is slowing and delaying game download speeds. In a statement on PlayStation Blog, Sony Interactive Entertainment President and CEO Jim Ryan said, "We believe it is important to do our part to address internet stability concerns as an unprecedented number of people are practicing social distancing and are becoming more reliant on internet access." That was a mouthful. My mouth is very dry, and I am taking a drink of this water while I hear what Chris thinks.
Well, it's probably expected. It's probably a good thing, right? I mean, you don't want to overload the networks and everything, and I'm not too sure. I don't have the background knowledge to comment on the network infrastructure in Europe, but if they're already concerned about it, it's probably a good decision to reduce it. And I mean, even with slower speeds, like if I'm going to download a big game, I'm probably going to start the download, put it in rest mode, and go to bed anyway. So it downloads overnight, even though if I could just wait for 45 minutes for it to finish, right?
But it seems like more of a, oh no, it does say game download speeds. I figure, yeah, if it's a streaming thing, then who cares? Because most people, if they're streaming, they don't care about quality. But yeah, for game speeds, just basically do that whole mentality. Just download it overnight. If preloads are always available for games.
I mean, I'm on the mindset, if it means we all have a decent experience, it's better than us all having a bad one just because we're greedy. I'm totally down for this. I think it's smart. And then, like I said, we can all enjoy a little piece of the pie.
And it doesn't sound like it's affecting like actual gameplay. It just downloads, right? So if you're playing like Call of Duty or something, I don't suspect they're you're going to feel it.
I'm just curious whether or not it's going to hit North America, as we seem to be getting a little bit more of this pandemic hitting us now. Are they going to end up slowing down our speeds too?
Possible, but I mean, our infrastructure might be significantly better.
Yeah,
too.
again, not knowing how theirs is.
Yeah, I haven't read too much on it, but I do think we have some of this already. Not with PlayStation, but I could have sworn some people have already started worrying about this problem, so we're getting a few slowdowns. But again, I don't remember names or businesses. So
I also hear that a lot of the service providers are taking out the data caps. It almost seems like an opposite thing. They're encouraging people to stay home and stream, like for them to.
They're encouraging you to stream, but they're also being like, at 1080p, you're not getting this 1440 anymore, boys. So, you know, I mean, whatever. Great. Again, anything that encourages the social distancing, encourages the quarantine yourself and staying at home. For the love of God, please just stay home right now. If you don't need to be outside, don't be. So yeah, I'm 100% down with this. Just do it. And great on these companies for trying to make it work for everyone. And
that's the thing. That's the nice thing is it's for everyone, right?
Yeah.
In Europe. So it's
they're not charging.
It's not gonna be
more,
like
right?
one small group's got faster speeds, another one. Do it a blanket. It's fair for everybody.
Yeah,
right?
and it's not like, you know, I'd expect AT&T to come out and be like, you got to pay an extra $20 if you still want that normal speed, and then we'll
That would be bad.
Yeah, that would be
considering
bad.
a lot of people aren't even able to pay mortgages at the moment.
100%. So like, it's great that it's probably more for the brand itself to save them from the backlash. Like, that's why we're going this way, but I'm glad we are going this
what's
way.
more important, having the internet available or it crashing?
No, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, no, good. Good on PlayStation for joining the cause and letting us all, like I said, enjoy that little piece of pie. Okay, on to our next article. We're talking about Resident Evil 3 and the knife coming back to its full potential, which is unbreakability. We got a quote from Game Informer here. We're dealing with survival horror and everything is exhaustible. You run out of bullets, you run out of herbs, you run out of all the items that you can use. So if you did run out of everything, what would you have? The knife. Says Peter Fabiano, because I can't read that. The director always wanted to make it so that you could at least have your trusty knife. That's always something you can rely on. So basically, Chris being the bigger, well, Curtis is into RE, but I know Chris is everything RE. So how are you feeling about having a all-powerful knife again?
Well, my head goes straight to the fact that there's probably going to be a trophy to beat the game with just a knife or something like that. So, yay, look forward to that.
I've already seen videos of people knifing the bejesus out of
The
Nemesis, and it seemingly works. So
yeah, it does work. I did hear that too. So, I mean, in the remake for the second game, you had knives, but they were essentially one-time uses. Well, I mean, you'd get them back, but they'd break, I think, after a couple swings or a couple stabs. So it'd be nice to have it back again for sure. It's one item that's going to sit in your inventory slot forever. So
I just hope that it has the same power level as the one in RE2's remake, because you can use that knife a lot, especially if you're trying to do, what was it, hardcore? How did they scale the difficulties in that?
you broke the RE,
Can you
man.
repeat the question?
What were the names of the difficulties?
Can you phrase it in a question?
There was like
you did, but
easy, normal, and then I think it was hardcore.
I think it was
hard.
hardcore.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was used a lot, especially when trying to fight Birkin, because he has like 2 or 3 different points you can hit. You can just slash all of them, and I'm kind of hoping that because
you could
it's
stun lock them.
Yeah, it's such a strong item compared to some of the guns. Too,
I was never able to successfully do it.
Oh, I did it every time.
I heard it was easier to do on the PC.
Oh, it is.
And
Yes,
you were
it
doing
is.
it on the PC, so
I would know.
yeah.
I personally don't play a lot of RE myself. Can't really remember ever using the knives all too much. I was all about expanding those bullets until I had no more. So, you know.
I mean, playing on the harder difficulties, it's just something to fall back on.
Oh, no, for sure. But I'm not the hard
go
difficulty.
behind it.
Yeah.
Did we use it in the demo? I'm already forgotten.
You stabbed a box?
I stabbed a box,
You
yes.
did stab
It
boxes.
was the box opener. I remember doing that a lot in Resident Evil 4 as well.
where
All
can
the
we-
barrels.
Oh, it might as well. You don't waste bullets.
Yeah.
Where can we find that video, Chris?
On our channel on YouTube.
Thank you,
NPC Offline.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I just feel bad for you. I'm already thinking about that trophy for your platinum.
It's gonna be
Watch, they're gonna make that trophy be hardcore mode and killing everything.
get an ISA rating.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those,
Never use a herb, never save, and never use anything but this
Because
knife.
the RE2 ones were difficult. There was ones where it's like you
Oh,
can't,
they were
you
ridiculous.
can't open the storage chest.
Yeah.
I think you had to do it without using healing items.
I thought you could
Yeah.
only save certain amount of times, or is
Certain
that
amount of
the
steps.
remakes? Okay.
There were certain steps, less than 10,000
Yeah.
steps.
Yeah.
wasn't there a time limit as well?
There might have been, but that was probably the easier one actually. When
Yeah.
when you first do it, you're like, oh my god, that's not going to be easy to do.
Well, a lot of them were also able to do on easy,
Yeah, or with an infinite knife or an infinite gun.
and using any of the special guns voids everything too. So
Yeah, I didn't void them actually. The only one it would void was because you had to open up the storage chest to get the infinite gun, so you couldn't use the infinite gun on that run.
Huh.
Because it didn't start in your inventory, so you could have.
True.
That's the only one you couldn't do it.
Okay, so going on from there, I don't think we have much more to talk about our knife power. So we'll go to the last article, and we are talking about possible rumor / patent information coming out about the PlayStation 5 and how it might allow customizable boot options, so you can jump right into your multiplayer or your single player, or just how the hell you want to boot things. So I think, Chris, you got a little more information of this than I do.
Not too much. I saw the article. It sounds like, I mean, it's not confirmed that it's going to be out, right? It's just a patent.
It's a patent, like everything. They got more patents than assholes there at Sony. And
That's true.
yeah.
It sounds like you'll be able to make custom user templates so that I'm trying to find the example right now, but like right now, some of the Call of Duties, you can boot them up and it'll automatically go into multiplayer mode. It sounds like you'll be able to make user templates for games. So not only will it go into the multiplayer mode, you could actually set it and program it so that it loads you right into the like public lobby match. So it starts queuing you up as soon as you load up the game, which can be interesting for some games. It might be more interesting for like longer RPGs. You might be able to just bypass some of the menus and stuff. So that kind of sounds nice.
So you think you might be able to do it to try to just boot straight into your single player save?
Yeah, instead of actually clicking on load save file. I'm not too sure how it would do it because the PS4, I think most games when you have to load a save file, you actually have to click on the save data and loads it separately. So unless you can queue it up somehow in the template.
Well, I'm curious if it's going to be kind of like a save state. You're telling the console that I want it to load right here.
Could be.
And
Kind of like emulators.
You might be telling it to don't load autosave, load my last manual save.
Yeah, that
And
could be it
save
too.
state.
Because that would, in my opinion, save a lot. Because, I don't know about you guys, but there, depending on the RPG, I make a lot of mistakes. Sometimes that autosave is not going to put me back in a great place. So I would imagine it'd be something like that.
Yeah, that was one thing I kind of liked about the Super Nintendo Mini. You had a replay function where it recorded the last minute, I think, of everything you did. So if you screwed up, you could just rewind back 30 seconds. Yeah. Like it was the same as like a regular emulator. You could do your save states, but it had a rewind function, which was kind of nice. I don't think this is going to be anything to do with that, though.
I think the Wii or the Wii U had something like that too, because I know it was banned in a lot of speedrunning.
Yeah, they locked it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully that pans out. I don't really know what it could mean. 100 different things apparently. So
more technology.
Yeah. And
whatever.
again,
it's just a patent. It doesn't mean it's going to be part of PS5.
Yeah.
It's a concept, right?
Yeah.
It's what they want.
If it becomes a real reality and something they actually want to implement, then, look forward to May or June, because that's when they're probably going to drop all the cards.
And if it's only a patent right now, I'm thinking maybe wait till
it could
firmware
Yeah.
update 4.0 of PlayStation 5 or something.
The next model of PS5, because it might not be on the
Yeah, they might not have the architecture.
first one.
Maybe PS5 Pro.
Yeah. Well,
Could be.
Yeah.
Because that could be a selling point. Be like, hey, you already got those hella fast games. Now they're faster.
Get your 8K and your boot straight into your game.
God, if they say 8K, they say 8K, I'm going right on the stage, knife in mouth. I don't care.
And I thought the patent said something to do. The technology was something they could create based on the hard drive structure they're using now. So that's how they're able to do this concept.
Well, it
I
would
guess,
help
potentially.
because if you have so much, because like an SSD, it knows where stuff is right away. If you could basically direct it to load this part,
and that's exactly what they're
that's
saying.
that would make sense.
Okay, everybody, that's it for this week. Thank you for listening to the show. If you'd like to hear more, you can find us on YouTube. We drop 2 videos a week on there. We could also use your support, so feel free to head there. And until next week, your NPC Offline crew is signing off.
Have a good one.
See you later.
Bye! As Chris adjusts his mic for the perfect level.
Is anything perfect?
Nothing's perfect.
Nothing's perfect.
Except Mother. Mother is perfect.
She's the
Mother's-
most perfectest.
Mother
the
is not
perfect.
perfect.
Mother is perfect and you are a
Do you
blasphemer.
even know the same mother?
Yeah.